Good morning, my children, and welcome to your English class, the class of the teacher Jacob. So, today, my children, as you can see here, we have a lot, and I mean a lot, muchos, a lot of objects. Some of them we already saw in the past, algunos ya los hemos visto. Some of them are completely new for you. Algunos ya los hemos visto y a otros son completamente nuevos. So remember, this review, recuerden que este repaso, it's not only about the past that we have seen, no solamente trata de cosas que ya hemos visto, sino también involucrar o meter nuevos conceptos a la clase. So, let's begin. Now, for this is an exercise that we are going to make, but before we commence with that exercise, let's see what objects do we have for today. Now, once again, the teacher will explain all of them, and then you are going to repeat after me, and finally, we are going to make the exercise. So, please stand up, please sit down well, concentrate, pay attention, and let's begin. Now, let's talk about objects. The first object that appears right here, it's an animal. And this animal is part of the animals of the sea, animales del mar. Now, this animal is very playful, es muy juguetón, and if you throw a ball to it, si arrojamos una pelota, the probability that he will spin it, la probabilidad de que la gire es muy alta because he's very playful, es muy juguetón. So, we have the seal. Okay, very good. Next to the seal, we have an animal that we already know. It's very popular, it's very small, and it's called the mouse. Next to the mouse, we have another object that is very common, very popular. It's the apple. Remember the apple? It's part of the family of the fruits. Next, we have the helicopter. Now, the helicopter, remember, it's part of the means of transportation. Recuerden que es parte de los medios de transporte. And what are means of transportation? ¿Qué quería decir? Remember, it's an object that takes us from one place to another without walking. Es un objeto que nos lleva de un lugar a otro sin necesidad de caminar. Next to, we have another popular animal, the elephant. Remember, the elephants are very big animals with very big ears, just like Dumbo. Now, next to, we have the octopus. Just as the elephant, the octopus, it's a very popular animal, muy popular, quiere decir muy conocido. The octopus is an animal of the sea, just as the seal. Okay, and another characteristic of the octopus is that it has several tentacles. Tiene muchos tentáculos, okay? Some of them, they have 8 arms. Algunos tienen 8 brazos. Next to the octopus, we have another popular animal. We have the cat. Now, do you know what's the sound of the cats? Woo, woo. That's the sound of cats? No, that's the sound of dogs. The sound of cats, remember, meow, meow, with those big eyes. Now, let's continue. Here, next to the cat, we have a new object. This, my children, is called jam. Now, inside the jam, as you can see here, we have a picture of a strawberry. Now, if you remember what is a strawberry in Spanish, means fresa. So, this container, este contenedor, contains strawberry jam. Jam in Spanish, mermelada. Okay? Now, talking about jams, there are all type of flavor for the jams. Hay varios tipos de sabores. We can have peach jam, de durazno, sometimes pineapple jam, de piña, of all the fruits. But the most common is the strawberry jam. La más conocida, la más popular, es la de fresa. So, as you can see here, this container has strawberry jam. Mermelada de fresa. Okay, next to the jam, al lado de la mermelada, we have the ball. Now remember, the ball is an object that has a circular form that we can kick, que podemos patear, or we can bounce, podemos rebotar. Now, next to the ball, we have the football. There is a big difference between the two balls. Hay una diferencia entre ambas pelotas. The first one, you can bounce it or you can kick it. But this football is just to play American football. Es únicamente para jugar fútbol americano. The other one, we can play basketball, soccer, podemos jugar fútbol, o como lo llamamos soccer, or we can play basketball or even volleyball. Podemos hacer varios tipos de deportes con esta pelota, pero with this one that looks like an oval, pero este que tiene forma de oval, only for football, solamente para fútbol americano. Now, let's continue with the next object. Again, we have an animal called zebra, and one of the characteristics of the zebra is that it's colored white with black stripes, con the stripes, rayas negras with black stripes. I'm sorry. You know, that's why it's very important the review. Por eso es muy importante el repaso, porque si no se nos olvidan las cosas. Next to the zebra, we have the rocket, which is again a new object for you. Now, the rocket in Spanish means cohete, and is one of those objects that we send through the space. Es uno de esos objetos que mandamos allá al espacio, porque recuerden que allá en el espacio exterior no sabemos qué hay. Hay únicamente estrellas, pero hay probabilidad de que encontremos vida extraterrestre. Así es que no, para poder descubrir planetas o para saber si hay marcianos o muchas cosas allá afuera, mandamos cohetes. Remember, the rocket in Spanish, cohete. So, next to the rocket, we have the nest. Now, the nest, it's an object that we already saw. Remember, when an eagle or when a chicken lay down eggs, okay, when the birds lay down eggs, cuando los pájaros ponen huevos, in order to keep them warm, para mantenerlos tibios, they put them inside a nest. Los ponen dentro de un nido to keep them warm, para mantener cálidos, para mantener tibios o en temperatura correcta a esos polluelos que están a punto de nacer. So, next to the nest, we have one of my favorite objects of this list, the ice cream. Now, raise your hands, my children, who likes ice cream? You like ice cream? Okay. You too? Very, very good. What about you, Brandon Mateo? Do you like ice cream? Excellent. Very good, my friend. Excellent. Now, next to the ice cream, we have the lion. Now remember, lion is part of animals of the jungle. And lions are very dangerous because they bite, muerden. So I'm going to keep a little bit, I'm going to maintain distance. Voy a mantener distancia between me and the lion because it's very, very scary, muy temeroso. Now, let's continue with the umbrella. Now remember, the umbrella is an object that protects us, nos protege from the rain, de la lluvia. Okay? So whenever the rain starts, we open an umbrella and it protects us from the rain. Nos protege de la lluvia. Next to the umbrella, we have the kite. Again, one of the most popular objects of this class. We have the kite. Once again, remember the kite, it's an object, it's a toy that we exponemos en el aire so it can levitate, para que pueda levitar. Okay? Next to the kite, we have a violin. Now I'm going to tell you what is a violin. The violin is similar to a guitar, but is smaller, más pequeña que una guitarra. Okay, that is the violin. Next to the violin, we have the goat. And remember, we already saw what is a goat. It's an animal of the farm. And goats have these horns. It has two horns, dos cuernos, and it's very small, colored white. And finally, we have the quilt. Now, teacher, what is a quilt? Well, I'm going to tell you. The quilt in Spanish means, do you remember what is a blanket? Okay, blanket in Spanish means cobija. Okay, now the quilt is similar to a blanket, but I'm going to tell you what it is. In Spanish means colcha. Now the difference between quilt and the blanket is that blanket is thinner, es muy delgadita. Okay, nos cubre, nos calienta, pero es muy delgadita. The quilt, la colcha, is thicker, es más amplia y nos provoca más calor. Okay, that's the difference. That is quilt, una colcha. Okay, now let's continue with the second part.